Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. There's an XRP chart analyst who says that XRP's price bump, especially the action we saw yesterday where XRP peaked at $1.25, he said that, there's something weird about that. And in his estimation, it could mean one of two things. And not to scare anybody, he does warn that one of the things, and we'll get to it a little bit later in the video, one of the things could be very bad, in which case price of XRP goes down a lot more than what any of us are expecting. But I will tell you, he doesn't think that's the probable outcome. He's just laying out the options, basically. But the other one, if the other one is correct, and I'm willing to bet that it is, then people are not thinking big enough as it pertains to the upper limit of price action for XRP this market cycle. It's just going to continue to shock people. But before going further, I do want to be clear. I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. I wanted to start with this, though. There's this headline from the Crypto Basic. Here is how much one XRP will be worth if its market cap reaches $350 billion. Now, I just want to cut to the chase with this one. I'm not going to read the article, the whole thing to you, but there's this part at the bottom that really gets to it. And the answer here is the value of one XRP would need to rise by 759% to $6.15 for XRP to claim a $350 billion market cap, right? And so that's fascinating because at that level, that's basically the same market cap that Ethereum has right now. And the idea of XRP getting to that level, that doesn't sound insane, does it? If anybody was doubting it like a couple weeks ago, probably not doubting it as much anymore, are you? I'll not be surprised if indeed that happens. And don't forget that before the SEC started tinkering with things last market cycle, XRP at multiple points in history did have that number 2 spot in market cap. And yeah, of course, always being intellectually honest here, of course, ETH has dominated that number 2 spot, but there have been a handful of times where XRP has legitimately been challenging ETH. And consider this. In terms of the peak market cap for ETH and XRP for that 2017 bull run, they didn't peak at exactly the same time, but if you look at their market cap peaks for that cycle, they were about the same, actually. That's incredible. So if we do see something like that again, sure, I would expect also that the market cap for ETH is going to go up a lot too. But I will not be surprised if we see some level of competition in regards to that. And even if we don't, though, do you really think so? Like, say ETH runs first, and that's certainly possible. Do you not think that XRP could at least hit a $350 billion market cap? I mean, if the crypto pie keeps getting bigger and XRP is here to stay, why wouldn't that eventually one day happen? Even if we're way wrong and it doesn't happen this cycle, okay, I honestly, I would just keep holding at that point. But, given how undervalued XRP is, and I really do believe that, even at this point, I mean, I'm not going to make a price prediction, and fine, I could be wrong. I admit I don't know, and I'm just a dude on the internet. I got to admit, I'd be surprised if we don't see new all-time highs in price discovery and face-melting action. I'm wondering if the analysts that are talking about $10 XRP, I'm wondering if they're too conservative. And the answer is, and I don't know, but the answer ultimately is, in part, depends on how much money flows into the crypto space, because a certain percentage of that absolutely will reach XRP. And all the people that don't want XRP wallets at this cheaper price level will want to buy it as retail FOMO kicks in and more people jump into the crypto asset class being stupid money, and they'll be buying it at $10 if the price gets to that level. It's mania at that point. It's not about fundamentals. It's about people feeling like it's safe because it's been running so much, it must be good then, right? Now, of course, that's the time of maximum risk as you get to those higher levels. I'm not saying specifically $10, but just conceptually. But XRP is going to be taking back spots in terms of, it's the way it's jockeying for position in the top 10 coins by market cap. Of course it is. Here, case in point, and I mentioned this yesterday, look at this headline. From You Today, XRP flips Dogecoin after epic rally past $1. Yup. It took that number 6 spot back, didn't it? And one of the top 5 coins now is Tether. It's a freaking stable coin. If you don't count that, then XRP is already at number 5. There's not that much more competition. And XRP is the most undervalued out of those coins, out of those 5. Like, say you knock Tether out, XRP and the other 4, like out of them, XRP is the most undervalued. So the idea of it running way higher in terms of market cap, yeah, I will not be surprised to see that in the least. Here's a post from OnChain analytics firm Santiment. XRP has now broken a 3-year high, reaching $1.26.79 on Binance for the first time since November 11th, 2021. This rally has come on the backs of key whale and shark wallets that hold between 1 million and 100 million tokens. This group has collectively accumulated 453.3 million more tokens, worth $526.3 million, in the past week alone. Meanwhile, the coins that they are accumulating are mainly coming from retail traders attempting to dump their coins on any small XRP rally. Wallets with under 1 million XRP have collectively dumped 75.7 million tokens worth $87.9 million this past week. So I'll pause to say, what he's getting at here very clearly is that the small money out there, which behaves differently than the bigger, the most, frankly, the most rich people out there, tend to retain their wealth because they're not idiots and they make more rational decisions when it comes to investing. So the retailers are selling, they're wanting that profit, and fine, if they want to do that, that's fine. I don't have any qualms against that. I'm just noting the difference in behavior here. Whereas the whales, they're expecting this to go way higher. So they're happy to purchase that. Anyway, and then they say, historically, any cryptocurrency tends to see positive market cap growth when its key stakeholders are increasing their holdings and confidence, while simultaneous retail FUD fuels this growth more. This has been the exact scenario unfolding for crypto's now number 6 market cap asset. So long story short, number go up much higher than it is right now. That's what's most probable, I certainly believe anyway. Here's a post from Dan Tapiero. He shared this yesterday when XRP at the time was worth $1.13 as it was running. Now, Dan Tapiero, he is the founder and CEO of managing partner of 10T Fund, which is it's a crypto fund, but it's a fund that invests in crypto companies, not the cryptocurrencies themselves. To my best of my recollection, I don't think that fund does any investing directly into cryptocurrencies themselves, but it helps you get exposure to the asset class. And so that's what he's getting at. But he's been in finance forever. I've seen him in a couple interviews, so I'm familiar with him. I've been following him for a while. And, it's not like he's some sort of XRP fanboy. He's been peripherally aware of it, but hasn't really done sufficient research into it. But he's just acknowledging the reality, which is this thing is clearly here to stay. Look what he wrote. So XRP started pumping like this, and you know what he wrote? Very rare within the world of financial markets to see any market plus 100% in 2 weeks, engulfing 3 years of selling and sideways movement. Shorts are dead. Market suggests structural change afoot. XRP, now $65 billion asset, didn't happen by mistake. And in a separate post, he wrote, ridiculous staying power. No one is at $50 billion market cap by chance. Yeah, folks, this is not surprising to me. I don't pretend to have known when it was going to happen, but my attitude has always been, and my core investment theory, frankly, is utility matters and will win the day. And so, because without utility, people like me wouldn't have interest, which sets kind of like, if you will, like a floor price effectively, because there are enough of us that get the actual value of XRP and we just refuse to sell. And as a result of that, when you get into these mania cycles like we're going into now, that because we've set that floor price, because we recognize the utility, that means when more money flows in, XRP is going to have some eyeballs on it that it otherwise wouldn't have. But that is because of the utility. It's just that when it pumps up, that's not specifically because of the utility. That's because of wild speculative mania. And I wouldn't say we're in like complete full-blown euphoria at this point. I think the best is yet ahead. It is true that if you've got an asset like XRP that's been around over a decade, and it's at, as he cited here yesterday, $65 billion market cap, that doesn't just happen, right? And not if you're talking about an asset like this. It doesn't just happen. I mean, the staying power for XRP, it is intense. Even the worst thing that possibly could have happened to a coin happened to XRP with the SEC attacking, and it still stayed in the top 10 coins by market cap. Like, if you are short XRP, what do you not get? Is your brain broken? Is my question. That's what I would like to know. But of course, some people do have broken brains. Take a look at this from chart analyst Jackus. He shared this with his 137,000 followers on X. And I started following this guy within the last, few months or so. But he's recognized something that I think anybody that's been in the XRP community for a while has recognized. There's a bunch of idiot sticks out there. So here's an XRP USD chart looking glorious. And here's what he wrote. The cope on the XRP pump is immense. I feel it everywhere. It was the most hated coin by far in the past months. Whenever I tried to tell people of this banger of an opportunity, I received lots of hate for it. It was to a point I couldn't even talk about it many times. People just love to buy into pumps and ignore clear accumulation ranges. What I have observed is that most people hate it because other people hate it, not even knowing why. It is what it is. Goes with anything in life. Herd mentality. Spot on. Now, you guys listening, you all know better, of course. And that's why I've been highlighting this stupid human behavior. I've been talking about it throughout, well, this year, but, dating back to the beginning of my channel because I've been observing the tribalism in crypto from the get-go, basically. But especially throughout this year, recognizing the accumulation range that XRP has been in, and every XRP chart analyst under the sun effectively is like, yeah, this thing, it's been in a multi-year accumulation range, getting closer to the apex of this symmetrical triangle at some point this year, and it ended up being in November. How about that? Many said that it likely would be then. And then it did break to the upside. So that was an opportunity. It was an accumulation range. Charting works with XRP just like any other coin, and people just ignored that. And it's to their own detriment. Because here we are, and it freaking worked. Here's this post from a charting guy. He said, I told you all XRP and lagging coins likely do nothing until Bitcoin enters price discovery. Then, 1.5 weeks ago, that happened, and altcoins are going bonkers. Patient accumulators who understand cycle deserve this. Impatient complainers who sold when it was boring learned a lesson. Spot on. Spot on, charting guy. Absolutely. Speaking of, Bitcoin dominance levels, this is what I was referencing at the outset of the video, and it's pretty interesting. Let me make this chart full screen for a second. This XRP USD chart. And XRP chart analyst Dom wrote the following, and this really is interesting. I think it's probably very, very good at this point. But he said there's something weird about this XRP pump. Bitcoin dominance is not tanking. Any other time XRP pumped over 100%, it was when Bitcoin dominance was tanking. Check all gray boxes so you can see what he's talking about if you're looking on the screen here. And so there's truth to that, because typically when XRP is pumping, Bitcoin's been running and then altcoins are running. And so Bitcoin dominance goes down, XRP dominance goes up along with, however many other altcoins are running at the time. So this is interesting, right? And so he writes that could mean two things. Number one, this is a fake out and not a true pump, would be insane and unlikely in my opinion. And I'll pause and note, every analyst that I follow thinks that that is not a real serious possibility. And so it leaves us with another option here, which is the exciting one. And this would be my guess. Because, look, at least as of the time I'm recording this, XRP's still hanging in there. It hit that high of around $1.25, whatever it was. A little bit of a retracement, stayed above $1, and it's just kind of been ranging a little bit, because it's never going to go up in a straight line forever. But if it were a straight up fake pump, shouldn't it have fallen back down well before this? Anyway, so here's the other option. Number two, he says, this is just the appetizer to what's actually coming, aka money isn't even flowing out of Bitcoin yet. This is all new money or money flowing from other alts. Okay, now that's exciting to think about. The money's not flowing from Bitcoin into XRP yet, and it still did this pump. Think about that. The money's coming from somewhere. So it's either, like he said here, they're selling, if it's not a fake out anyway, and I'd be skeptical that it's a fake out at this point. That means that's new money flowing into crypto, maybe some of it, but also selling of other coins, altcoins. So what do you think happens when we hit this point where money's really rotating out of Bitcoin and flowing into alts like XRP? It's going to be an ungodly pump. I'm here for it, man. I don't know exactly what it's going to look like, but I'm optimistic. Let's just say that. Then there's also this post from chart analyst Gert van Lagen, and he wrote the following. And this is an XRP BTC chart on your screen. If Bitcoin goes to $220,000 to $320,000, it'll have a market cap of $4.5 to $6.5 trillion. Now, folks, I'll just pause and note. I acknowledge that could happen this cycle. I don't think that's the most likely thing, but it could. And if it does, oh my God, XRP. So check this out. And this is what I've said. This is in line. I've been talking about this for a number of times throughout this year. If we do see that level of craziness for Bitcoin price, that means XRP number go up even higher. And so he's telling you what it would mean. So if Bitcoin goes that high, he says XRP at $8.50 to $28 yields a market cap of 500 billion to 1.8 trillion. Okay, so then the question is, can that happen? He wrote here, been there a dozen times already. So if it actually goes that high, yeah, I mean, the idea of XRP close to $30, it's not insane. So I don't know how optimistic we should be that it gets there. It's not crazy though. Just take it for what it's worth. Like this is why I'm so excited to see how high Bitcoin goes. That's really the primary reason I care, because I'll have sold all of my Bitcoin well before it gets anywhere near there. I will have secured my profit. In fact, I probably should have started selling, if anything, and scaling out at least a bit by now, because I've been holding since 2017, and I am counting on this cycle to be the one where I finally pull all of my profits from XRP, like from everything. Ideally, I'd like to sell everything, but I'm not going to sell anything at a loss. So it depends on how things unfold. It's a dynamic environment. But my God, the best is yet ahead. That's what I believe. Look at all this stuff. So anyway, just some things to consider. I hope you found it as interesting as I always find it interesting, but I'll go ahead and wrap up here. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.